Hello, welcome back to BAME Farm. We're making this video for Bandit Farmer. He watched our first wood chipping video and had a couple of requests. Somewhere near the end, if you watch all the way through, there's a little bit of a debacle where the machines ran into some issues. So the story of what happened on that fateful January day is my cousin and my uncle, they were gung-ho to help us, clear some fence line, and we used the wood chips to bed the cattle. Hence why I clicked them in the manure spreader. And we were running now 45 minutes, and Brad puts in a sizely branch, I don't know, a little 6-inch branch. This chipper will take up to an 8-inch. And it was going along okay, run it in slow. It's got a variable speed feed with the handle right there. You can make it faster or slower. Even go in reverse. I don't know. And right at the very end, there was a foot of log left. And we broke the belt. Just a clean split, right in half. I don't know if it was right there or over there. But the big drive belt on the front just came apart. Didn't fray or anything. It was like somebody had almost taken a knife and hacked it in half. So that was our first problem that day. And that was about, 10 o'clock or so. So we had to call a dealer. We got another belt. It's one expensive belt. Like a $200 belt. And when we had the belt apart, I had to take the hydraulic drive belt off. And I had opened up the door here to look at the blades. Now, not having the owner's manual, we have it, but it was at my uncle's house. We kind of own this as a three-way partnership between ourselves and two of my uncles, because they have more woods than we do that they maintain. We just kill tree lines. And I look at the blades. It's like, these could be a bit sharper. And we had a brand new set that came with this chipper from the previous owner. So I decided, why not? It'll be easier on the machine than having sharper blades. We put those on. We reused the old bolts. And casually, I mentioned while my dad and my cousin Richard were standing around, should we put Loctite on these? I didn't get much of a response. Nobody looked around or anything. I was just tightening them up, because I thought I saw some residue on the threads like there had been Loctite. Oh, there wasn't. Or we didn't put any on, and that was the problem. So after about 45 more minutes, if we look in the box here, here down in the deep pit of the toolbox, this is the good end of the story right here. You see that chip that blade up pretty good. This is the one that in the video you see come flying out the spout. And then there's the other blade that came out. Two of them are still bolted in, but one came out and took the one behind it off. I don't know. And there's some more parts. And down here at the very bottom, here's the anvil. And you can see it kind of chunked that up pretty good too. If we look at the one side, we can't reuse either of those sides because of that big chunk that's missing. So we had our 4 old blades sharpened, and these are the 2 that didn't come flying off. That one still has a pretty rough edge, and that one's edge right here isn't so bad. We could reuse them if we had to, but I wouldn't put them at the top of the list. And we put all brand new bolts. Come back around here. We put brand new nuts and bolts on the paddles to push the chips out, because a couple of those, the bolts were bent. So we're just starting fresh. And we didn't bother to straighten them. I don't think that's quite as big an issue as having them mounted solidly. And I've already put in 3 of the 4 blades. I didn't have issues. Let's see. Sit there light. we rotate a little bit. Yeah, you can see the scratch marks where the chunks of blade went through. Chipped a little bit off there. But these are countersunk bolts with an Allen wrench. You need to use an Allen wrench to get them loose. So that can be a little annoying at times if you get too much dirt down the bottom. The blades sit at a slight angle to the flywheel, so they're not at a flush 180 degrees. They're recessed, probably 10 or so. I said it's a slight angle. I still have this blade to put in. And you can see the shiny marks. Wow, there's some raised metal around that. I'm not going to get a good flat placement of the blade on there. So I'm going to take a grinder, clean that up, and I'll show you guys putting this last blade in. And obviously we still got to put the anvil in and clean that up. And that's an explanation of what happened that day. Okay, we are much smoother now. I have 2 bolts already through our blade here. And it's sharp. I could probably shave with it. Not that I have much to shave. I probably wouldn't want to use a razor this heavy, since I already put all the other bolts away in the toolbox. Line it up. Okay, and that should fit much flatter, so I don't see a gap. That should pull down tight. Okay. 2 lock washers. And 2. With a little bit of Permatex Formaseal, since we don't have Loctite. Something to slow down travel, but we have lock nuts and lock washers. So these suckers are not meant to come off. Now it is a harsh environment. I mean, chipping wood is not an easy everyday task. That's some heavy duty work, I'd imagine. Oh, well, I've done it. Well, not to say I've done it before, but I've used this thing, so I know how difficult it can be. But it makes it a bear. Yeah, this little guy, the Allen wrench. Ugh. You can't use an impact with it because it'll work its way out until you're almost all the way tight. Then at that point, I'm not using the impact. Or I'll use the impact once it's all the way tight. Ugh. That's the joy of using lock nuts, is it's a struggle to get your thing tight the whole way down. Oh, see, that's why I hate these Allen wrenches. I'm probably not going to show you guys putting the anvil back in because it's very tight and kind of claustrophobic in there, but we have the feed roller all the way up. You can kind of see down in there a little bit. There's a block of wood to catch the feed roller if it falls down, but we put a piece of conduit through the 2 eye bolts that hold the springs to keep tension, downward tension on the feed roller. And the anvil drops in right down there where those 3 holes are. But since it's tight, I'm probably not going to get any video of that. I'll let you guys use your imagination to figure that one out. So until next time, let's hope for smooth sailing and less breaking of stuff. Make sure to comment and, most of all, subscribe so you know when we are breaking things. Or having a very good day and getting things done. Let's go for that one.